Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Pikel and Michael, same person, for League of Items. The schedule came out for the mid-season thing between the LPL and the LCK. We have the groups and we have the schedule, so I figured I'd go through game by game and try to figure out how I think each group is going to play out. So we're going to go over the projected lines. I haven't found any lines online yet, obviously because it's so close to when the schedules came out, but we're going to go through game by game, kind of give some first thoughts about how each game should go. So the first game that we're going to get is between the reigning world champion Fun Plus Phoenix team and the reigning Korean champion T1. I think that the easiest way to look at this game is the public will think that China is the stronger region, but T1 is the best team from Korea. So it's tough. It's tough to try to figure out the storylines. So for T1, you could say perennial powerhouse. They are the best team from Korea. They have one of the best players in the world in Faker. Their team looked good in the finals. A few things like that. So the overall sentiment should be positive for T1. For Fun Plus Phoenix, you could say they were last year's world champion. I don't remember if they played each other in the World Championships last year, so I guess that's something I should probably look up. FPX. Let's see. Maybe they didn't play each other. Using Gamepedia and Leaguepedia like I usually do. Let's see the match history. Main event. T1. T1, T1. Okay, so they never had the chance to play each other. So we can't pull from any like previous matches between the two teams. But Fun Plus Phoenix, other people might say like Fun Plus Phoenix was swept by JDG. JDG was a young team that came out of nowhere. Maybe the sentiment is negative on Fun Plus Phoenix, because you could make the argument that they're the third or fourth best, well, second or third best team from China. When it's all said and done, I would expect the head-to-head to be very close, like pretty close to like -110, +110 for both teams. I could see it at -110 for both, or minus something like that, -110 for both. If anybody's going to be favored, I would expect T1 to be favored. In terms of this meta, I think that T1 did a better job showing that they can play on this patch. Um, they did play Graves in the finals, which is something that we want to see. They had it banned against them another game, and then they banned it when they were red side. So that's how I want to see my teams playing. For Fun Plus Phoenix, they banned it twice against JDG as blue side. So again, that makes me feel like they either don't respect Graves the right amount, or they don't know how to play it well as a part of their team composition, which are both things that scare me. I think that T1 is going to be pretty good at shutting down a jungle carry meta. Just because I don't think they're going to give up as many opportunities to the opposing team to like give up the ganks that can help snowball a game. In terms of FPX's roster, we're not sure if it's going to be Gimgoon or Khan either. I would expect that it's Khan, because they brought him over with this massive deal to try to have like more of a top lane carry. And I think especially against T1, the team that he came from, I think that they'll probably just play Khan for like that additional storyline. I don't think it really does much to their winning chances. This is a best of one, so it's important to remember like it's more common to get upsets and stuff like this in a best of one series. So personally, I think the match is probably 50-50 or 55-45. So I think that the highest the line is going to go is like -120. Um, either way. So anything outside of minus 120 is probably value on either team. So so if it's minus 120 and plus 120, which side do I prefer? So this is what I think it should be. I think it should be T1 minus 120 and FPX plus 120. I think that the Chinese bias might be the most powerful kind of storyline to impact the money line. I think that if it was posted like this, the book would be afraid of this because they would probably think that they're going to get a lot of money on FPX. So if you do want to bet on T1, I would wait as long as possible to see if you can get this as T1 as the underdog, because I don't think that they should be an underdog. I think it's pretty close to 50-50. So it's just trying to figure out, is there going to be a spot where I can bet on value? Probably not. But it is an interesting first game to kind of look at for a money line. Damwon Gaming versus Top Esports. Damwon is the fourth best team from Korea, so I would expect Top Esports to be a big favorite here. It would probably be minus 200 and plus 200. And if this was a 3-game series, I would definitely say don't waste your time betting on Damwon Gaming. But in a best of one, I could easily see an upset happening. They didn't show that they play the Graves carry jungle kind of style. I'm not sure. I honestly don't know if Canyon plays Graves or Kindred or anything like that. And I still don't know what patch they're playing on. So that would be kind of helpful if I knew that. I don't think they released that yet. So there's a few interesting things that it may not help their winning chances, but I know that Showmaker is doing this thing right now where he's trying to play every champion one time and get the challenger, which is like obviously it'd be very difficult and very impressive if he could pull it off. Noguri is a carry top laner, and he's going up against an underrated top laner probably. So I think going into this matchup, you're probably going to hear the analyst desk say, you know, if there's any advantage for Damwon Gaming, it's in the top lane. Noguri's a carry top laner, and 369, you know, he's not the best top laner, and like Top Esports really doesn't play around top lane. But we just saw 369 go head to head with Zoom in the finals and was able to do really well against him. So I'm not afraid of the top lane matchup. I think Top Esports is the better team overall, but if it comes out as minus 200, I'm probably not going to make a bet on that just because the return on my money is not that good, and it's in a highly volatile environment in a best of one. So I would prefer to bet on Damwon Gaming because I think that the public is going to be on Top Esports, and I think the line is going to be heavily favored towards Top Esports. So it's going to come out at minus 200, which is like they win 2 out of 3 games. If they played 3 games, Top Esports is expected to win 2. So what would it take for me to bet on Damwon Gaming? I'd probably bet on Damwon Gaming just outright. I think all you have to do is kind of hope for that 1 in 3 chance, which is not horrible. Oh, and then I guess we have blue side for Damwon Gaming too. So that's the other thing. Teams, bettors probably will not think too much about which side is blue side, but I'm assuming that the team on the left is blue, team on the red is right. Team on the left is blue, team on the right is red. It's not that difficult. Yeah, so that's what I'm going off of. So that makes me like Damwon Gaming even more. So I do want to bet both of these matches. I think that we'll probably end up getting value on T1, and we are getting value on Damwon Gaming, assuming it opens up close to plus 200. and they should be blue side. So this is going to put Top Esports in a spot where they either have to waste a ban on Graves or they let Damwon Gaming play Graves, and both of those are bad situations to be in. Then we have T1 against Damwon Gaming. I think Damwon Gaming will beat... Okay, shouldn't say that. If it goes the way that I hope that it goes, T1 will beat FPX. Damwon Gaming will beat Top Esports. Then we'll have T1 coming off a win over FPX and Damwon Gaming coming off a win over Top Esports. I think in that situation, T1 would be a large favorite over Damwon Gaming. So then it would probably be like minus 200, maybe even minus 250, because Top Esports has done really well against Damwon Gaming throughout the season. So in that spot, I wouldn't want to bet T1 at minus 250. And I would consider betting Damwon Gaming at plus 250, but we have to get there first. I have to see what they look like in their first game. It's going to be very dangerous for a team like T1 to have a draft advantage over other teams, because it looks like every game in the group stage they're going to be blue side, which I don't know if that happened for a reason. Top Esports is red side every game. Interesting. FPX versus Top Esports. I think this is very similar to the T1 FPX matchup. I like them about the same. I think Top Esports would, depending on how they do in their first match, they'll probably beat... Actually, okay, so let's think about this. So game 1, T1 wins. If Top Esports and FPX both lose their first match, I still think it would be about 50-50 going into this game. So it'd be like minus 120, because it's easier to justify FPX losing. Then FPX against Damwon Gaming. If FPX loses to T1 but then beats Top Esports, then FPX is going to be like minus 150 and plus 150. And then the last game of the series, the last game of the group stage would be T1 versus Top Esports. I think if T1 beats Fun Plus Phoenix and then Fun Plus Phoenix beats Top Esports, then T1 would have to be minus 150 and then plus 150. So how would it go for DraftKings? So for DraftKings scoring, T1 versus FPX I think could be like a macro game, but I could also see the scoring implications being pretty good. Overall, I think this group is going to be lower scoring than the other group, which is probably a good thing, because hopefully we get a contest more similar to like FanDuel, where all of these matches are like, or all the teams get points for all of their games on this day. So the final standings, based off of what I just said, would be and this isn't really a prediction as much as it is like how I'm reading the different betting scenarios and the side that I would want to be on. Because like I said, if this is a different patch, then maybe that changes things. If we get some news about like different rosters, that might change some things as well. So T1, if I could bet on a team to be the top team coming out of this group, I would want to bet on T1, because they're always slightly undervalued, especially when they're going up against Chinese teams. Just because they don't play as high of a kill score game, which players associate with being a better team for some reason. So I would say that's not what I want. Wins, nope. FPX, lose to T1, Damwon Gaming. I don't like how that turned out. So let's see. T1 versus FPX. That's probably really a half win for each. So 2.5. Damwon Gaming versus Top Esports. That should be more like 0.65 for Top Esports. And like now we're getting into like fractional wins and stuff like that. So it'd be 0.6 plus 0.4 plus 0.3. So this like 1.3. Damwon Gaming would be plus 200, so it's 0.3, 0.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.9. FPX would be 0.45. 1, 2, 3. So about 1.5 wins, and then FPX would be 0.55, 1.25, 1.25, 1.85. So about 2 wins. So based off of how I think that the odds are going to open up, it should be something like this. The biggest movement would probably happen between these two teams. I think that if T1 comes out in the first game and is an underdog to FBX, then I would think we're getting value on T1 to win the first game and to win the group. So I don't know if BetDSI is going to release like a to win the group kind of thing. That would be interesting to watch. Obviously, as we get closer and we know the roster and we know the patch, I will feel more comfortable with this. And then the second group, JDG versus Gen G. So this is like a spot that I like, but I don't know if I'm going to like the odds that are released. So I would assume JDG being the winner from China against the second place team from the LCK, I would assume JDG is the favorite, and I would assume it's like minus 200-ish. And Gen G is plus 200. This is a spot where if it's the same patch, then Gen G is in a bad spot unless they learned how to play the meta that was forming during the finals. Well, during patch 10.7. So let's see. Gen G, Dragon X, JDG. JDG, Gen G, Dragon X. Okay, so then Dragon X against Invictus Gaming. Dragon X will probably have a better public sentiment than Invictus Gaming. Invictus Gaming lost a bunch of their matches at the end. Millhouse27, thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated. My man. Or woman. I don't know what you are. Just assuming. Don't assume my gender, bro. So we have Dragon X and Invictus Gaming. Dragon X against Invictus Gaming. Dragon X came in 3rd place in Korea, basically. Oh man, okay, that's a little bit more information than I needed. But thanks the same. Let me know if you have any questions about this tournament or anything else you may want to know. So like I was saying, Invictus Gaming has lost a lot of their matches recently, but in a best of 1 against Dragon X, what I hope happens is that Invictus Gaming is like a plus 150 dog, and then I would feel comfortable betting on Invictus Gaming. This is going to be a spot where if Invictus Gaming wins 1 or 2 matches in like a flashy way, people are going to be all over them. They're just going to instantly fall in love with Invictus Gaming and how they play the game, because it's so much fun to watch. I think that it's going to be very important to see who Invictus's jungler is. And then over here, it's also going to be important for us to know who is top laner. So if their jungler is Leon, I think that Piosik is a better jungler than Leon and has a better champion pool for this meta. Like, we see they played a Graves game on 10.6 and then we don't see another Graves game. Like, that's just crazy. So we know that Dragon X can play it, and they have played Yuumi in the past as well. So I think like one style of team composition that I like a lot right now is using a carry jungler, and then having like an enchanter support that can help the carry jungler use their lead that they've acquired and like push it really hard throughout the rest of the game. So a champion like Olaf, which Piosik is really good at, a champion like Graves, Kindred. He should be able to play Kindred. And then we have Chovy, who's a very good player. Deft is a good player. So we have a lot of well-known, well-established players that the public is going to like. Will Dragon X be the favorite? I kind of feel like they have to be the favorite. Right? Because Invictus Gaming has lost like 5 or 6 of their last 7 or 8 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've lost 6 out of 7. So this patch could just be like a nightmare patch for Invictus Gaming, where they just don't have a good read on it. They don't play it well for one reason or another. But like I said, if Invictus Gaming is plus 150 or anything like that, that's a side that I'm interested in. It should be closer to a 50-50 in a best of 1. So this is me just I'm trying to project what I think the opening lines will be. That may have changed throughout, like from the beginning to this point, but I think that's what I'm more comfortable with, because that'll tell me what the book is projecting the final standings to be, so it seems a little bit more relevant. Dragon X against Genji. So this is a matchup that we saw a lot during the regular season. People who are not paying attention are going to say, "Oh, well, Genji was the second best team in Korea. Dragon X was the third best team in Korea, so Genji should be favored." But if Dragon X is blue side, then they should have a slight advantage. And Dragon X has beaten Genji consistently throughout the year. So I would like Dragon X to beat Genji no matter what. So the best case scenario is Genji pulls off an upset, Dragon X loses to Invictus Gaming somehow. So if we get like back-to-back upsets, and then we have Dragon X coming off of a loss versus Genji coming off of a win, and I would love to bet Dragon X in that spot. That's what I hope happens. And if that happened, then it would be probably Genji minus 150 or minus 175, something like that. So we'll do that, 175. JDG versus Invictus Gaming. So if we had JDG coming off of a loss and Invictus Gaming coming off of a win, I still think that JDG would be the favorite. People would just say like, oh, it was a one-off game. JDG is a better team than Invictus Gaming. But I could see Invictus Gaming just coming in and turning it on. Like if they are able to figure out a way for Leon or Ning to navigate this patch, then they could surprise a lot of people. And that's you'll see that a lot in these kind of mid-season tournaments where one team sort of comes out of nowhere and is more competitive than they quote unquote should be. But again, a lot of this is like me hoping that certain things happens. In the perfect world, JDG would just get stomped this entire tournament for what they did to me in China. But that's not always the outcome that we get. So Invictus Gaming against Genji. So if Invictus Gaming beats Dragon X, they would still be a dog against Genji. So unless something crazy happens in these first couple of games where there are a lot of upsets, I would think Genji is the favorite over Invictus Gaming. Clid is a good jungler. I would like to see Clid kind of have like a resurgence in this tournament and play that carry style, because that would get everybody pretty hyped up about Genji going back into the Korean regular season. So I think that they would still have to be like this. Maybe a little bit less, because JDG would be... Could I see... No, I guess it has to be more than that, right? Because if Dragon X is minus 150... Maybe it would be something closer to minus 175. Or minus 200. That seems like too much, though. Alright, so we'll leave it like that. And then JDG over Dragon X. I would still think that people are high on JDG. So we'll do 150, because by this time in the tournament we'll have more like information on all the players and on all the teams, so it's going to feel different. These lines are the easiest ones to project. The first games, you can kind of predict those based off public sentiment, but then like public opinion shifts so fast because of the games that you have to be careful with like the future games. So if this is how it goes, it would be JDG at 0.66, 0.6 and 0.6. So that's 1 JDG. Dragon X would be minus 150, 0.6, 0.4, 0.6, 0.4. So it'd be 1.4. Genji would be 0.2, so 0.3. 0.3 plus 0.6. And then Invictus Gaming would be 0.4. So this, I think this is projected to be closer. And the other thing that might happen is if on the first day we see a lot of like favorites winning, it'll make people feel more confident in their read on the regions. So this is the kind of thing you really need to be paying attention while the tournament is going on. Otherwise, you can kind of like not make decisions off of enough information. So, I mean, that's basically all I wanted to get done for this, is like kind of try to figure out what I think the opening lines are going to be specifically for the first day. And then when we get closer and we know what patch it is and what players are playing and all that, then I'll try to do like an update video on something like that. But this just came out, kind of wanted to get all my ideas down on paper before we got anything else. So thanks for stopping by. Let me know. Actually, did I copy this? Minus 200. JDG Invictus Gaming. Yeah, so I did kind of follow what I was doing before. So like I was saying, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Until next time, it's been real.